And a double dose this week. Buonasera a tutti. Good evening, y'all. And what's the scoop? Once again, back on April 2nd, 2026, just past 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Rob time. And glad to have him back as he's drinking whatever milkshake that is.
It's not a milkshake. This is water. And my Thunderbolt.
Oh, it's water.
This is the one Marvel movie of the multiverse saga that you need to watch. It's called Thunderbolts, and it is fantastic.
Thunderbolts. I don't know that character yet, but
it's a team. It's a team of characters.
There's teams in Marvel?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Avengers, Thunderbolts.
All right. Well, yeah, all right. That's why this show is not about superheroes.
One superhero at a time. That's what we're gonna do here.
That's what we're doing here. Yes.
Yeah.
Before we go to teams.
Yeah, I promise I know more about the topics today than I do about whatever the hell that was. But and with that, glad to have you guys back on. Rob, we missed you last night and appreciate that you're on today.
What do you mean? I was here yesterday.
Pardon?
I was here yesterday.
No. I don't mean the show last night. I meant like last night, like with everything afterward.
Oh yeah, no, I was busy doing behind the scenes work for this show.
Yeah,
and I spent 4 months figuring out, and then I finally figured it out, and it took me till 6 a.m. to get halfway done with it.
Wow.
Yeah, fellas, to anybody watching, I just wanted to say, Rob, I both of y'all, but Rob, with your behind the scenes stuff, your knowledge and your commitment to this stuff, thank you. Because we're going to make some pretty exciting announcements in the next few days, as I teased earlier on our social medias. And I very much hope that y'all will follow us along for that, because
it was gonna get done today, but there's so much, like, basically how so basically what happened. I'll just preface it. Basically, for the last 4 months, I've been trying to figure out a very volatile tech issue to get this show to kind of like the next level, and even our FAH and what we want to do at K&K. And I finally figured it out by doing like some really simple but kind of hardcore computer coding. And it was kind of wild. I finally figured it out at like 11:30 last night. And I was like, oh my God, yes, let's go. So I spent all night working on it.
Let me give y'all my brief perspective on this. So we finished the show last night. I'm crunching numbers, getting ready for today's show, getting some stuff taken care of, getting ready for my mom to come in tomorrow. 2 a.m. I get in bed. I'm half asleep. Like my eyelids have closed for the night, one thing or another. My phone's calling, and I'm like, who the hell is calling me at 2:10 in the morning?
Well, who do you think it is?
Wait.
Yeah.
Who do you think it is? Me, because I work at night.
Yeah, bro, you don't sleep. Like I've never met somebody who somehow just like is never tired, or at least if you are, you don't show it.
I'm not. But the thing is, so basically, I sleep really light, and then I take one day and sleep 15 hours, and then I'm recharged for another week. It's really weird. That's how my body works.
Goodness gracious. Well, anyways, we're very grateful for it and excited to get into it today.
So really quick. Yeah. So I gave him a call and I was like, hey, I figured something out. And then we had a discussion. He's like, yeah, great. And I was like, I'm sorry to call you when you're sleeping, but I thought you would get excited about it. So I wanted to tell you.
Yeah, no, it was definitely worth that call last night. And I, the very small group to whom we spoke this morning amongst us all, I think we all are very excited about this, and I'm looking forward to getting that announcement out there when we all are have the I's dotted and T's crossed when the players have passed their physicals, as they say.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing, is making all our episodes pass physicals, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to that, and it was hilarious because last night, as per usual, as is our standard modus operandi, we were on for about 2.5 times as long as we were supposed to, and I think I got through about 40% of what I was expecting to talk about. So,
oh my God, what's going on? What is happening?
That one is mine. Let me just turn that off real quick.
Is that the Windows PC sound? Is that what it is? I'm trying to figure out what the sound is. What is it?
No. Okay, so I don't want to spend too long on this, but the long and the short of it is, all my phone sounds now are back to like what they are when they first come out of the store. because my phone exploded on Tuesday, I think it was, and I had to get everything restored to factory settings, and I lost everything. So,
okay, that makes sense. That for that happening, that's a reasonable explanation. You know what's funny? I've had that happen to me 3 times on 3 different phones.
Good Lord, that type of bad luck needs to be studied. And with that, tuning in on YouTube is Mr. Coffee, Patrick Wiltsey tuning in saying aloha boys, aloha Mr. Wiltsey. And obviously for your recent support and working with us, we offer a very sincere mahalo. And hope that you're doing well out there in Hawaii, and appreciate, as always, you tuning in.
I'm sorry for hogging. Introduce Brandon. Introduce your Yankee brother in here, man.
Of course. And okay, good. I'm not mirrored this time. Finally, my guy up here, Brandon. Brandon, you and I had a good amount of time talking last night about the outcome of the series from the New York standpoint. We'll spend a little bit of time later breaking down going into the Miami series, talking a little bit more about a couple of guys. I know we were talking a little bit about Ben Rice, a little bit about G, and obviously a little bit about who seems to be increasingly seems to be like he could have been a little more legit than we originally realized last year. The young phenom, Mr. Cam Schlittler.
Shit. That's my new nickname for him because I can't. That's my new nickname for him because I can't say his last name, so I'm just gonna call him the shit.
Well, so here's what's hilarious. When I first saw his name, I thought his name was Schlittler. I didn't see the L between the SCH.
That's what I thought too. So
I was calling him Schlittler for the longest time, and then I heard people saying Schlittler, and I was like, why are they mispronouncing it? I'm like, oh, they just probably don't want to make it sound like they're saying Schlittler or whatever. Like, no, it actually is Schlittler. Like, oh, great.
I hope we get him on the show because I'm going to tell him that our nickname.
Oh, I would cry tears of joy.
Oh my gosh, I started talking about it yesterday, but to have just the personality that he has, the fact that he is like, he's the perfect example of somebody who's got the balls to pitch in New York, but doesn't have to like be arrogant about it. Like he's got a confidence that doesn't become an arrogance. And I mean, you guys watch Moneyball. It's like that quote from that old ass scout who basically was saying he's the guy who walked into his room and his dick got there 2 minutes early.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was a real scout, by the way.
Yeah.
But no, that's I think my favorite thing about him is I love guys who thrive in the New York pressure, good and bad.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guys that survive not only in New York, but if they ever leave New York, and go somewhere else in their career, which doesn't normally happen if you're a Yankee.
I'd be very sad, but luckily I don't think we have to worry about that for about 5 or 6 years at least.
Right. But again, if it doesn't matter who it is, right?
Yeah.
You grow as a person in a area like New York and Philly, the groups of fandoms you guys have, that no matter where you go, I mean, heck, I've seen guys go from the Eagles to the Seahawks and vice versa, and they're just different after they leave because they understand the pressure that's involved and they're better for it. So there's three different types of players. Well, I mean athletes in general, but I'll go with baseball players here. There's the guys who just can't do it in New York for whatever reason, which no hate to that because I probably couldn't either. Then that's your Sonny Gray, Carl Pavano types. There's the guys who can handle it in New York. And that might be like a Jazz Chisholm type of player. And then there's the guys who just feel like they were meant to play in New York, who not just can handle it, but they thrive in it. And that's your CC Sabathias, your Cam Schlittlers, and the company. Nick Romano was tuning in saying, Luigi, appreciate it, Nick. Glad you're tuning in, and thank you for joining us tonight. And hello to you and Christina. Hope both y'all and your whole family are doing well. Excuse me about that. And with that, you guys want to keep going with some baseball? You want to start with some football to kick off the show real quick? Because I know we want to get to both. Yeah. Do you guys mind?
I know I kind of left us off with a little bit of a dig last night when with the football stuff as I was signing off. So.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just doing some technical testing here in the background. No, but I did want to talk about the Eagles report. If you guys don't mind to start with that, because
Yeah, we'll let you start. I think that I think Brandon and I will probably spout off. Well, Brandon might not, because I know he's kind of like, this is kind of water off the Oregon Ducks back at this point. But
yeah.
But I know I'm somebody who, I mean, you see it with me. Like, I tend to get re-instigated every so often.
The thing is, though, so here's the thing. Brandon and I mean, Scoop, you know this, being with us at FAH this year, we are really tired of just Eagles reporting in general in the national media, and rightfully so, because there is a lot of like, I guess, poor juxtaposition. I guess is the right way to put it. And hi, Nikki, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Nikki, thanks for tuning in.
The thing is, guys, I am starting to get the feeling, and I was listening to Mike Florio talk about this. I'm starting to get the feeling I've hit a really deep and like what's the word? Like, this cuts my, yes, I think that's a great way to put it. Where I can't. So think about this logistically. Mike Florio of PFT talked about this. Think about this logistically. Think about just how the media works. Brandon and I, and obviously, Scoop, you've studied media as extensively as we have. We know how this stuff works with reporting. So think about how this worked, right? And I'll repeat what Mike Florio said earlier this morning that I thought was interesting. This was manufactured. Yeah. And it was manufactured in a way that is so fascinating, because think about what just happened 2 days ago or this week. This week, the entire NFL world was in Arizona, or I think it was Arizona or Florida. I believe it was Arizona this year, for the meetings, for the competition committee meetings, the referee stuff, because I know they're working through the CBA, the coaches, everyone's there. Media members go, everyone's there. It's like this big kind of off-season tentpole thing for the NFL, the rules, all these things that happen right before the draft. So everyone's there, okay? And we all know how this works, just like the combine. Everyone's talking to reporters, talking to people. The day after everyone flies home, this report comes out, which tells me that someone in the Eagles wanted this out for some reason, whether it's contract related or whatever. I have a few culprits. I'll say who they are. I think my three culprits are, I think number one, Sirianni wanted this out. I'm pretty confident that he wanted. And by the way, I'm confident that this is a report. This is a rapport report. What is a rapport report? A rapport report is saying, hey, we're the Eagles. We're Jeffrey Lurie. We're Nick Sirianni. We're Howie Roseman. Hey. I think it's Jeremy Fowler. Hey, Jeremy, can you put this out for us? And just kind of say, sources said this about Jalen Hurts, but it's really from us. Do you mind if you can put this out, please? Yeah. Because we want to figure out the contract thing. We want to send a message to his agent. Hey, can you put this out? The next day it comes out. I also think, and I think you guys are going to like this, I also think another person that he talked to is the new Miami Dolphin, your favorite former offensive coordinator.
That was exactly what I was going to say. As soon as you were done, this is exactly what I was going to say.
And by the way, I don't think, but here's my point. Okay, here's my point. I think it's the Eagles. I think it's him, and I think it's Brian Johnson. I think these groups of people. Because here's the thing, you can't put out a report like this without multiple sources. I'm confident that your former OC is involved here in some way. Both of them are involved in some way, and the Eagles themselves wanted this out. For what reason, I don't know. Because publicly, the Eagles say all the right things. Publicly, they're like, we love A.J. Brown. We love Jalen Hurts. We're excited about this new offensive system. All of these things. Publicly, they're super excited. They say this all the time. There's no dysfunction. There's no problem. And then they literally said this all week long in Arizona. And then the day after everyone flies home, this comes out. I don't think it's a coincidence, but my issue with the Eagles is, where's the messaging coming from? What do I focus on? Do I focus on what's happening publicly? Do I focus what's happening privately? To be real, and we said this all last season on FAH, realistically, it's somewhere in the middle. It's right down the middle. There's no like, oh, privately they're in mass dysfunction and publicly we're fine. No, it's in the middle. I think some days it's great and some days it's really bad. And they want to have both so that they can have some flexibility, because ultimately, if you have both sides, there is some dysfunction happening there.
Yeah.
That's just my thing. There's some dysfunction happening there that can't be ignored, but also logistically putting out this piece now, it is quite concerning. When all week you're like, everything is great, and then the day after this comes out. It just feels weird. There's no other organization that runs things like this from a PR perspective. It doesn't work this way. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't get it. I hope that you both can provide some perspective, because you followed it. I followed from a national perspective. From a fan and watching the team day to day, what is your feeling on it? Because for me, I'm at my wit's end with it. I'm tired as you guys are. But why are we shifting? Why are we shifting so dramatically? It's April 2nd. What is this? What are we doing? It's literally just this turnstile. What's the reason?
I have a couple theories. One, first of all, I'm glad you mentioned the Patullo factor, because I do believe if people go back and look, the reporting after he was fired was that he was bitter about the fact that he got as much of the as much of the blame fell at his feet as it did,
which was deserved.
Absolutely, I'm just saying that there was that element. He was. Just go back and look at some of the, and I don't have the thing up right in front of me right now, because I only saw it, like, I think it was this morning. But there was an article that was done, I think it was on The Athletic. And basically what it said was, it listed the different people who were sort of, not different people, but it listed the different scenarios in which, things were sourced as being said. The only person or person/people who could have sourced this are people on the offensive side of the ball who are in close connection with Hurts on a quite literally play-by-play basis. So unless Scott Loeffler is out there having some reason to say something, or freaking Tanner McKee is out there having reason to say something, it comes down to, like, literally, there's two people I can look at. I look at Coach Sirianni, and I look at Kevin Patullo, and I'll say and I'll say this. Also look into the context of what's being said. And Brandon and I have heard this 1,000,005 times, that he doesn't want to run anymore since he got paid, that he doesn't want to, utilize his mobility anymore since he got paid, and one thing or another. And to be fully objective, maybe there is an element to that we just don't know, and that Brandon and I didn't, or Eagles fans in general sometimes didn't give as much consideration early on, because the offense this year was just such an absolute clown show that we didn't know what to consider reputable or legitimate, or what was responsible for what this working or that not working, or this person doing this or this person not doing this. We don't know what was a consequence of just an absolute dog water elementary scheme, or one thing or another. But here's my thought, and here's why I'm still reluctant to put some of this on, or a good amount of this on Jalen, because he got paid. Brendan, remind me. Do you remember when it was that Jalen got paid?
3 years ago now. 3 years ago now.
I think it was after the. Yeah, I think it was after the Brian Johnson season. So I think it was. After
so that'd be 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So why the hell would the issues just show up this year?
Because they're looking at next year's contract. They're looking at restructuring it and what it's going to look like. That's why.
That was going to be my lead-in. Is the only variable that I can see other than, or I'm sorry, the only new factor that I can see other than what we just mentioned about the horrible season we just endured, is the fact that he's coming up eligible on a new contract in 2027.
Exactly. And that's why the report came out. Yep.
Yeah. And again, there's this whole thing, and we've all heard it. It's this whole oh, Jalen Hurts is this, Jalen Hurts is that. Unless Jalen Hurts completely nosedives this season and we literally end up with a losing record this season and he's to blame for it, at least largely, unless that happens, I believe the Eagles are extending Jalen Hurts next offseason.
And even then, one bad season wouldn't be enough.
Yeah. And by the way, I apologize, Scoop. I apologize. But this is something I want to get out really quickly. He's a top 5. He's a top 5 quarterback. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy, man.
Remember when I broke it down to you guys about hey, we know who the top 4 are in terms of talent in this league. Like, we know it's your Josh Allen, it's your Mahomes, it's your Lamar Jackson, it's your Burrow. But I'm like, right now, like, legacy-wise, I would say Matt Stafford, right? Because obviously he's walking into the Hall of Fame after this season. But
and he has one of these.
But yeah, but in terms of like currently, like, yeah, Stafford has his MVP. Has he beaten the Eagles yet? No. I will not take him over. Like, and the thing is like, does he play great football? Yes. So like, if you want to argue between him and Hurts for 5th, I can see some arguments. But after that, is Baker better? Hell no. Love? Hell no. Stroud? Hell no. Purdy?
Especially not last season. Especially not last season. Purdy had injuries across the board. Stafford
does every damn year.
Stafford still had a chronic back issue. He went through it. Who were the other guys you mentioned? Burrow doesn't have an offensive line.
Love
is not as good as people say, right?
And I'm one of the biggest Mayfield defenders you'll meet.
And here's the thing: Mayfield crashed at the second half of the year because the offense was a mess. And again, I'm not saying that the Eagles were in a mess last season. They were. But the idea that he's not this is going to sound bad for you guys, but the idea that Jalen, and we said this on FAH for months because it pissed us off so much, even from a national perspective. I was like, bare minimum, he's top 15. If you don't want to put him top 5, top 10, I can somewhat accept that, even though I think it's an awful take. Aside from that, there were people who thought he was like the worst quarterback out of all 32 starters. Worse than Gino.
There's people that had him at like 23. And I'm like, what crack are you smoking?
What are you watching on TV? And that's the thing. Here's the thing. That's part of it that bothers me so much. The huge reason why we talked about the Eagles so much last year is they were on national TV or top national discussion in the NFL.
And they embarrassed
every single week. And they embarrassed themselves. But people took it too far. It's like, bro, there's nothing wrong with Jalen.
Like you know what I'm thinking about when it comes to the new. Well, and we'll get into this comment in a second from Kurt. But what I think about with this new, and everybody keeps I keep seeing all the people. Like I keep mentioning social media, but obviously this went viral the last 24 hours. Where it's like I see people saying like, I've been telling people he's not good. I've been telling people running their mouth on social media. I've been telling people that he's the problem in the offense. I'm like, first of all, if he was the problem in the offense, because I see all these people, all these 40-something, 50-something-year-old armchair quarterbacks who've never done anything in their lives talk crap on social media, and they're like, oh, he's the biggest problem in the Eagles offense. If that was true, he wouldn't have made 2 Super Bowl appearances. One of them, and he holds 4 NFL records for a quarterback, including one that he broke himself in the Super Bowl.
And I'm just gonna say this real quick. If the Eagles really had a tremendous problem with him last season, they would have benched him.
Yes,
but they didn't.
Yes,
and how do we know that? Because even though it was under a different coaching staff, because they did it 4 years ago with a guy that they were paying more and invested more into than this one.
And I'm not talking about the PR nightmare that would have caused, because it would have been a PR nightmare if that happened.
I mean, to be honest,
nightmare,
Philly clearly is not averse to the Philly clearly believes and has proven that they can absorb PR hits.
Yeah,
right. But that would have been. If that, let's say in a multiverse, like week 14, let's say in a multiverse, like in week 14 that happened. Oh my God, I've explained the multiverse to you 1,000 times. It's other universes. It's you in another universe as a superhero.
Sorry, it confuses me. All right, go on.
Okay. In a multiverse, if the multiverse is real, which it's not scientifically. Anyway, if it's real, week 14, Jalen Hurts gets benched in a multiverse. We would have exploded. Yeah. Our whole show would have died. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it would have been the worst PR nightmare ever. But regardless of the PR nightmare that it would have caused, it would have been stupid anyway. And they knew that.
And I thought about this yesterday too, and I texted you guys this.
Kurt's right. Kurt's right. This is what Brandon and I have been telling you, Scoop. This is a Sirianni problem. He's not a good coach.
Like I think, like, when I look at where we are with this team, and I think about, but especially with him, I think when it comes to Jalen, if you look at the contract, yeah, we know it's coming up, but so there's, like, I saw people saying, oh, like, they should get rid of him. Okay, if you get rid of him, let's just say in a fantasy land, in that multiverse, let's say you get rid of him, who the hell could you realistically replace him with that would do what he's done in 5 years as an Eagle starter?
Probably Kirk Cousins. Probably the newly Raiders quarterback, Kirk Cousins. That's probably would be your best option if he doesn't retire by next year.
And that's not even close. It's not
exactly.
Close. No. So it's like, because everybody's like, oh, well, Joe Burrow. I'm like, well, Joe Burrow's got glass bones. I don't want Joe Burrow.
I don't know. Where I understand that everyone loves Joe Burrow, and he's a great quarterback when healthy.
He is. Yeah, when he's healthy.
But right now, bro, I think Jalen's way more talented in terms of being able to run the ball, in terms of being able to diagnose defenses at a quicker rate. Just from what I've seen,
he's a better deep ball thrower too.
He's a better deep ball thrower right now.
He was one of the top 4 deep. He was one of the top 4 deep ball throwers in the league this past year. Even with that crap,
he's been top 5 every year. He's been a starter.
People saying that they would trade Jalen Hurts straight up for Joe Burrow are not understanding the circumstances.
I'm not convinced that they understand how. Well, okay, if they don't mean trade in a literal sense, and they mean like just they would swap in Burrow for, but if they mean literally make a trade of Hurts for Joe Burrow, I'm like, do you understand how NFL trades work?
But that's literally, but Scoop, that's literally what's happening. Is these people don't understand, like we do, how trades work in the NFL. They just think anybody can get traded for anybody.
Like
that, there's a lot of logistics as to why that doesn't happen. And if it does happen, like a Trent McDuffie trade, right? Realistically, Trent McDuffie does not fit into the Rams salary cap situation. But they found a way through months of trying to figure it out before they did the trade.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kurt's right here. This is our issue.
Yeah.
But Scoop, continue on your point, because I think it's really important of just like people don't understand how NFL trades work, and it pisses us off.
No, they don't. And well, it's because, again, you got to factor in. There's the salaries, there's the signing bonuses, there's all the different, there's the cap, because a lot of contracts, which I'm pretty sure Hurts does as well. And I'm pretty sure that the one that was agreed to today between the Raiders and Kirk Cousins has it as well. They've got like dummy years or void years at the end of it. So
the Kirk Cousins contract, I have it down here on the bottom line. It's about to come up. It's 2 years, $80 million with 3 years.
I was just gonna say, because there was announced as a 5/172 contract, I think, but realistically,
5/174. Yeah, 5/174, 2 years, $80 million.
Right, but realistically, that that deal is 2 years for $80 million.
Yes.
And Jalen Hurts is kind of looking at it as a similar, situation with him. Whereas again, he's available for extension next year. And this is just let's be real in terms of signing the contract, like actually like
72. You're right, Scoop. 72. My apologies. I have it down from Schefter. Good job.
Okay. In terms of like what actually matters, it's 2 people. It's Jalen and it's Jeffrey Lurie.
Mm-hmm.
And as far from every outward thing we can see, Jeffrey Lurie is happy with Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback. And if it and here's the other thing too. And here's something that I think there is to keep an eye on. I kind of wonder, because remember what the LA Rams did? I think it was like 10 years ago. They brought in, and a couple of teams have done this, but I remember it was specifically said about them, bringing in a coach that people thought maybe was a year or two away from actually being ready to be like fully like fully ready to go gung-ho as a head coach, because they wanted him in their building. I wonder if the Eagles have designs on making Sean Mannion their head coach and brought him in now to put pressure, because people said this offseason, this is a little earlier than we thought he'd get a job. I wonder if they had designs on bringing him in to put pressure on, to put pressure on Coach Sirianni, because again, whatever you want to say, I've defended him quite a bit, but there's also plenty of reasons to either be critical or at least cynical of him. And again, it's like I said this 3 years ago about him as well. After the Brian Johnson year, was that they're not going to F around, and if they believe that they can make a swap that benefits the team now, but also going forward, especially in the middle of a Super Bowl window, and those damn things slam shut fast, as we've seen, then they're not gonna. And I wonder if there's an element to that as well. So I think that, and as usual with something like this, like Rob was kind of alluding to earlier, not just is the truth usually somewhere in the middle, but it usually isn't just coming out because of one person or one thing or whatever. I'm guessing that there's a little bit from multiple different people in this. I'm guessing there is some element of posturing with regard to the contract next year. I'm guessing there is some element of wanting to put a little bit of put a feet to the fire for both Sirianni and maybe Jalen too, just to get the best out of him this year, because they know that when he's like under the gun the most, that's when he performs the best. Maybe there's a little bit of that into this. I don't know. But again, also, here's one thing that I think we haven't talked about enough, myself included. The Eagles are doing what this offseason? They're overhauling their offense, right? They are completely bringing in an offense that we have not seen in Philadelphia. That means including Jalen hasn't. So I'm wondering if some of this is about giving themselves a little bit of buying some time, buying some time maybe to see how he actually works in the offense that they're trying to install. Now, again, I would assume that any good offensive coach would partially, in developing his offense, tailor that to the strengths of his quarterback. Yeah, and I have every reason to believe that that's going to happen with Coach Mannion. But I do wonder, and to an extent believe, that some of this and some of these questions or these so-called uncertainties or whatever are partially due to the fact that they're just saying, you know what, if we're going to say nobody is, if we're going to say we're going to look at everything this offseason and we're going to thoroughly evaluate, do we have the best out of everybody in every single position? They want to make sure that Jalen's like, hey, just because we paid you a lot of money doesn't mean that you're off the hook for that too.
And you know what I think about when I think about this whole era in Philadelphia, and it's just why it's bizarre. Like, everybody knows that I'm the old man, get off my lawn thing, and and even last year, we won 11 games, but we knew they weren't good enough to win the whole thing. But still, this is outside of the Chiefs and the Patriots. This has been the most successful, like long-term, like 5+ year run the NFL has ever seen. Like with what they've done. And I hate when people will lump together, it's crazy how, and I've seen this too, and I've seen this a lot, where they'll use, especially for not just for Jalen, but for quarterbacks that people don't like, they'll use he's got this and this, like this and this as an excuse. Like for Jalen, it's he's got all these weapons, or he's got, or
for Jalen, it's arm strength, guys. It literally is. He does have a good arm, which is stupid.
Or I always hear about, he has an elite defense. Anybody can win with that. I'm like, first of all, Defense wins championship.
No.
If anybody can win with an elite defense, then what happened in Houston and Cleveland this year?
What happened to Geno? I thought the Raiders defense was a lot better than people gave him credit for. They were kind of more middle of the road than you would have expected, and Geno threw like 100 picks.
And this is where I'm going, like because everybody says like, oh well, Jalen can't do this and Jalen can't do that. Well, Jalen's been to the Super Bowl twice. An average quarterback
and outperformed Mahomes both times.
Exactly, and not just that, but if you look at all the quarterbacks, pretty much in let's say the last 25 years, and I actually kind of looked through all the Super Bowl winners more or less. Do you know how many of them did not have a top even 15 defense out of the last 25 years? Take a guess.
Ask the question again.
Can you say the question again? I'm working on some background here.
Out of the last, let's just say the recent, since we've been alive, so the last 25-ish years.
Yeah.
Can you think? There's only been. Because we always say defense wins championships. Can you think of the two teams that have won without having an elite defense?
Without
the Giants in 07 or 08, whenever it was.
You're right about the Giants, but it's the other Giants team.
It's 11. It's 11 team.
The 11 Giants, okay. and then I'll say the other one. It's his brother, Peyton in 06. And so, but the thing is, the rest of those years, every quarterback that you could think of has had a top 5 to top 10 defense. Mahomes, Brady, Big Ben, Drew Brees, they've all had it. All of them have had it. So when you're saying that an elite defense is the reason why a team wins the Super Bowl, yes, because you need a defense to win a Super Bowl. That's how it works.
We've played so much Madden recently that I'm having trouble getting used to this orientation of the camera again.
Look at this.
So funny. I'm mute.
Well, when this highlight fully loads, because it's going to take a second because it's a little bit choppy. But Jalen made throws like this all year last year, and people are like, oh, he can't. There's still people saying, oh, well, he can't throw. He can't do it. I'm like, what do you mean he can't do it when you see it every week in a crappy offense? I would argue that this year showed the most that he can do it because did you see some of the most? It was some of the most. They literally were saying it on FS1. Some of the most rudimentary, elementary, basic level offense that's run this year. And again, I just said it. Fourth passer rating in the NFL in passes of over 20 yards. And not just that, but if you look at what he did this year, just from a stat standpoint, it was the most passing touchdowns in his career in an offense that is not designed to be anything great. Everybody's like, oh, well, if you gave Tom Brady that offense or whatever, I'm like, no, they would lose too. So it's like I don't understand when people saying like I'm sorry, I'm never somebody to pull this card, but at this point, the only two
I know what you're going to say, and I agree with you.
But the only two quarterbacks I ever see get this much hate in the NFL are Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. You know why? Because they're black.
Yep.
I'm tired of this crap. I am tired of
you know
this.
what? I actually think from a social media perspective, I think you're right about that.
Yep.
I think people on Twitter are like this a lot. It's the Twitter vortex where everyone wants to be racy and idiot. I don't think it's wrong.
Can I add something onto that? That I think adds on to that point? Because look at the guys that they call for when they want to bench a guy like Hurts. Tanner McKee. Gardner Minshew.
And I think Tanner McKee's a great backup quarterback, but not a starter. He's not a starter.
Nate Sudfeld being another one.
Oh God, Nate Sudfeld. Oh my God.
Unironically, these people are calling for these guys to start for the Eagles.
That's so bad.
I saw people, and the best part is when they say, "Oh, any quarterback can do what Jalen does." Then why have his backups who have come in there? Why have they done such a poor job?
It's been really poor. When your backups come in, you barely win.
If anybody can win, and the best part is they're like, "Oh, well, he doesn't throw the football." I'm like, because he's a dual threat quarterback. He doesn't have to. Dual threat quarterbacks should use their legs and their arm.
This is why I grabbed. You guys can still hear me, okay? Right?
Yeah.
Just want to confirm. Okay, this is why I pulled up this highlight on this is on the Eagles page. They intentionally posted this about 6 months ago.
Yeah,
and it was like a big thing on social media, and so I wanted to play it. Some of these, you're telling me he's not a good deep ball thrower? Are you kidding me?
Some of these
throws are some of the nastiest things you'll ever see in the NFL over the last 5 years.
If you want, and I think it's in this highlight because I watch all these Eagles videos when they post like the highlights of certain players like AJ, Devontae, whatever. When I think there's a throw in here where I don't know if you guys remember. Do you guys remember that Bills game in 23?
I think it's towards the back half of the video.
It was.
I'm just letting it run.
It was literally in that Bills game in 23, right? Do you guys remember the touchdown in the back of the end zone that he threw to Olamide Zaccheaus? It was like 3rd and 15.
Clearly,
it was like way in the back. It was like way in the back of the end zone too.
He rolled out to his left because nobody was open because it was a crappy 4 verts play pretty much. He rolled out to his left, pointed at Zaccheaus. Zaccheaus drifted back a little bit. He fired it. It went over, I think, 1 or 2 defenders' hands perfectly into Zaccheaus' hands for a touchdown. I was like, no, like I don't see many other quarterbacks making that throw. Like look at some of these dots. I mean, I know it's kind of choppy, but like I remember a lot of these plays. Look at that. That's a perfect back shoulder throw to Greg Ward. He's throwing to Greg. He's throwing to Greg Ward. He's not throwing to Randy Moss. He's throwing to Greg Ward. Like
I love that this. I knew this topic was going to make you guys passionate. And that's why I wanted to lead into it.
They're like, oh well, he's got Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith has known no other quarterback for 90% of his career other than Jalen Hurts. So what do you mean that Devontae makes him better?
Going back to, keep in mind, they were collegiate teammates at Alabama for a season.
People forget that. Like, even Devontae said when he got drafted, he was over the moon because he got to reunite with his college quarterback. And guess what?
Am I tweaking? Weren't they roommates, or am I missing?
Yeah, they were roommates. They were.
Well, and so like everybody's like, oh well, AJ Brown makes him better. First of all, Devontae and him are best friends. AJ and him have been best friends, despite and the media's turning that whole saga around. But
look, every best friends have rough patches, especially if you're working together. It happens.
And
I'm glad that Brandon brought up AJ Brown because I was just gonna mention. You notice how as soon as the Patriots died down, the Ravens died down, the Rams and Chargers died down. As soon as all the teams were falling off on the AJ Brown thing and they didn't have any more track. You notice how this started to pick up just around that time. Isn't that a little suspicious to anybody? The fact that
can I say it's not suspicious how the media works? The media wants to find the next story.
Let me clarify. Suspicious. It wasn't the optimal word, but it's a little too slick for me because looking at the fact that
Bobby Bo Nix is meh. What are we talking about?
I can't get behind that one.
What are we talking
I'll tell you this, Black Jack.
You want me to pull up Bo Nix? You want me to pull up Bo Nix highlights? Jesus.
If Bo Nix wasn't hurt for that Bills game, they're blowing the Bills out.
They would have won. They would have won. Yeah. I'm not gonna put up Bo Nix highlights, bro. I'm not gonna do it. I love you, Bobby, but that's. And by the way,
I mean the Patriots game. If Bo Nix was healthy for the Patriots game, they're blowing them out the water. I'm sorry.
Kurt put up this thing about how the Broncos are going to be really good. You basically can take the outline or the framework of that message, input whoever the Broncos quarterback is that year, and just reuse it every single year. That's Kurt's thought. No, well, also, but I think he's right in the sense that they made some really great moves this offseason.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It is April 2nd. Can we wait for the draft?
Well,
I don't make decisions about what these teams are until we get to the end of training camp. Like I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't.
They also, I mean, you said some great moves. I actually wasn't really liking their offseason all that much until they grabbed Jalen Wardle.
Oh, I thought.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Once they grab Waddle,
right
that's a throw. Look at this. It's a dot. I mean, it's a beautiful throw.
It's an absolute. Yeah,
it's a beautiful throw. I mean, it's a beautiful throw. Like there's nothing. I mean, you could see it from Zacchaeus' view, and it's incredible, just the movement. But
I would have pulled up a YouTube interview of Darius Slay talking about how Hurts was the most special quarterback he's played with. Except I can't because he pretty much says the F word every 3 words.
That's not. By the way, the fact that the Eagles made that the number one, I'll be honest, if you're an NFL quarterback, you need to make that throw. They're better throws in like the top 15 than this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dot, but it's a throw any quarterback should make. I'm just
it's the significance of the throw. That's what it was.
It was the throw.
It was really the dagger. It was to drive the stake in the heart of Kansas City.
I'm just gonna claim this really quick. Since we were talking about it, that is a highlight package that we're allowed to use. There's no copyright infringement. Anyone can sue me on that. That's not a copyright issue.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say
that. And we're using it to show people what kind of quarterback he is. We're adding something.
We're adding something to it, so it's not a copyright issue.
I like this, because I know we're gonna get into other stuff too. But real quick, I like that Jody says Nick's a top 10 quarterback, because you know what's funny? I would have him probably right around that 9-10 range. I love Bo Nix.
By the way, I'm just gonna tease this really quick. I don't know when we're gonna do it, but we are doing a quarterback draft at some point this summer. We do it every year. What it hurts? Yeah, that's actually, I forgot. Wasn't he pretty solid in that Buffalo? I mean, the weather was part of it, right?
That weather was terrible, and both.
you guys remember I was at that game, and
that's true. I should have asked Scoop. Scoop, you're at that game, and you had to leave. It was so bad. I remember.
Yeah, no, that was. I mean, you guys know me. I have sat through pretty much any condition you can think of outside to watch a baseball or a football game. It genuinely made that game pretty much unwatchable.
And you know what's crazy? Yeah. The best.
It was unwatchable on TV.
The best
not
throw.
Great on TV.
Like, and the thing is like the best throw of that entire game was the one where Jalen's getting dragged by one arm by a defender, and he throws a bullet in between 2 Buffalo defenders to AJ Brown on the sideline. I watched that throw. Like, no, listen, don't.
I can't do that.
Well, listen, you're putting me in a tough spot as a Ducks fan and an Eagles fan. You're telling me to pick between 2 of my favorite quarterbacks, 2 of my quarterbacks.
There's a reason why Brandon has Bo Nix in our Madden league. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, because Bo Nix is nasty for me.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, if we want to find Bo Nix highlights, find clips from our Madden league of him ripping my ass off.
He did the same thing to me. He threw like a 60-yard bomb to me last time we played.
Yeah. You know, but that's what I think when I think about, you know, like when I think about quarterbacks in this league, just I know which ones can't get the job done and I know which ones can. And there's a very short list of ones that can and have done it, and Jalen's on that. Yep. So it's like that's why when I think about, like, you know, when people are like, oh, well, he can't do this. I'm like, but he's done this, but he's done this, but he's done this, but he's like, I can tell you everything he has done. And it's like, people just don't.
Also, I got to fire back on this one about what happened during the Buffalo game, because I know over on DBR, like, and you know, the Denver Broncos crew, they obviously, as Broncos fans, they know, you know, weather conditions and whatnot very well, and how you win. And it's like Kurt always says, you know, running the ball and playing defense in those conditions, that is a known thing. That's how teams play in Buffalo typically. That's how teams play in Detroit. That's how teams play in Philly, et cetera, et cetera. And now you're going to try and tell me that you're using Hurts numbers in a passing game about passing in those conditions to determine him as a passer.
Nobody does that. Nobody does that to any other quarterback in the NFL. He's the only one that gets that treatment.
And his passer rating is high. His passer rating is better than a lot of Hall of Famers right now. So I don't want to hear that he can't throw a football when it's pretty obvious he can.
And it's pardon me.
I love this. We do this at least 6 times a year or 7 times a year, and we do it once in off season. I'm so glad this
is the one off season show. I'm glad that we've done it. I'm so glad because I can get it all out now until the season starts.
It's just absolutely crazy to me because if you're like, again, Brandon and I think, I mean, Rob, you watched pretty much every Eagles game this year, right? Or at least most.
I watched every single one through Red Zone or on national TV.
Right.
I didn't miss a game last year.
Yeah. So
I watched every.
Excuse me, sorry. And again, I'm not gonna go and because I'm still, I think we're all still picking scabs over the whole KP disaster this year. So I'm not gonna bring up what the offensive scheme was like. And I literally just said I'm not using I'm not going to look at passing yards and passing numbers for or passing completion for a game like that. When I was at the game, I was sitting there, I was out there in the conditions that they were in, and I had more more, what do you call it?
Protection. I would say protection's fine, more layers.
Yeah, more than they obviously did. They obviously did because they're out there. And excuse me, sorry. And there's a reason why both teams were going with a much more conservative approach that whole game. And the fact of the Eagles stuttering in that game offensively was a perfect microcosm of what a dog water, completely asinine play calling and offensive design or lack thereof there was this season in the offense, which we've said about 259 times on the show.
I will quickly say this before I move on to another topic. So watching NFL Red Zone is a great way to kind of get a scope of the entire league because I kept calling Brandon in the middle of like basically halftime of his games. I would ring his phone and I call him and I go, dude, I haven't seen your team at all offensively on Red Zone. He's like, yeah, because we haven't moved the damn football for an hour. I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's because it's called Red Zone. It's not called NFL 3 and out.
And you want to know why? And you want to know why we didn't move the football for an hour last year? Because on 1st and 10, we're running inside zone, loss of 3. 2nd and 13, we're running a curl route for 5 yards. That's incomplete. 3rd and 13. Then on 3rd and 13, we got to throw the ball 15 to 20 yards down the field. And then we run another inside draw with Will Shipley. So don't tell me that it's Jalen Hurts' fault for how bad this offense is. And it
wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. The statistics didn't tell you the whole story. He wasn't that good either.
And Jody, you know where most of those stats came from? The last 4 minutes when Vic Fangio decided to step back on defense.
I was just gonna say, if you again being at that freaking game, that's why I use contextualized numbers. That's why I use things like show me what actually happened when the game was in the balance, because I don't give a crap if he's going to have a Dak Prescott special out there and get a bunch of great numbers, and when the game is already
when the game was in the balance, he missed a wide open receiver in the back of the end zone to lose. He hasn't beaten the Eagles yet. He's 0 for 3. He's 0 for 3.
Okay, wait. Can I Scoop, with your permission? Can we do some international flavor? Some what's the Scoop international flavor?
I don't even know what I don't even know. I don't even know what international flavor is supposed to mean, so I'm just going to let you take it and run with it.
We're going to talk about Formula 1 and Italy.
F1, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so first thing with F1, and Brandon, I'm sure you can help me talk about this because we've yelled about this a little bit. First things first, I'm going to show you guys. So obviously, unfortunately, F1 is in a break for the next month due to the war. Because they were supposed to go to the Middle East. So they are unfortunately in a break. Well, fortunately and unfortunately, and obviously unfortunately due to the war, but fortunately protect the drivers, protect the teams. There's no need to go to the Middle East right now. So let me show you, and I'll get the audio of Bierman's crash. I believe this was the practice at the Japanese Grand Prix. And Brandon and I will explain, because I'm sure, Brandon, you know enough about this as I do, as to why this crash happened. So we'll explain why this crash occurred, but I'll just play the crash really quick.
Is it going to be? It's going to be choppy, isn't it, though?
A little bit, but I'll explain a little bit more as to what happened. So here we go. Here's I think it's Olivier or Oliver. I believe it's Oliver Bierman for Haas.
Behrman, 5th in the World Championship going into this one. Behrman avoiding action around the Alpine, heavily into the barrier. And the British driver finds the wall on a hugely quick part of the racetrack. Colapinto, the driver in front.
Yeah, so Colapinto slowing and then moving to the middle of the road quite late on.
Okay, Oliver Behrman.
So for
really on my end. I don't know if that's the case for everybody. The quality is really poor on my end.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'll explain what happened. So basically, for Oliver or Behrman, I'm sorry, I'm not saying the name correctly. Basically, what happened is this: the car. So what's happening in F1 is the car. So there's a long, complicated history of F1 always changing rules and regulations. That's why it's called Formula One. It's how you design the car. It's just like baseball, Scoop, in the sense that the top teams, so your Ferrari, your Mercedes, your Red Bull, has more money because they're more successful to spend on improving the car under FIA regulations. So under the governing body's regulations, they can upgrade the car. And then the teams at the back end don't have the same amount of money, so they can't upgrade the car in the same way. So in past years, last year we had this thing called DRS, which is basically drag. So a lot of racing is about drag. So the car in front of you, aerodynamics, air getting pushed to you so you can go faster. And then DRS is wings on the back and wings on the back of the car, adding more air down a straight so you're faster. This year, and then you have this thing called ERS, which is kind of an expansion of it. This was last season. ERS is basically, hey, it's an overtake button on your wheel. It's like, hey, I have a car in front of me that I want to overtake. Let me get a boost to go faster to pass him.
You likened it to a mushroom in Mario Kart, right?
The next part's more of a mushroom in Mario Kart. ERS is like a lighter version of it. This year, they've added a bigger electric motor, a bigger battery. But in order to charge the battery, you have to go slower. So for an F1 driver, you're going about 215 to 240-ish miles an hour. Am I correct, Brandon, if I was to translate it
around that?
Around there. So basically what happened is, so what's happening now is when you're going down a straight, the battery is so difficult to harvest, to use, to basically pass other cars, then when you're going down a straight, you have to go 190 instead of 215. So you have to slow down. Well, think about how this works in a real life scenario. You're driving down a straight. You're driving on a freeway. And you're going 60, and the car in front of you is going 100. And he doesn't realize that you're in front of him. Well, guess what? The guy's probably going to swerve and go into the barrier to avoid you and try not to cause a crash. That's what happened here, except he's going at 215 miles an hour. That's 50 G's of force when you smack into a barrier. He could have died.
Yeah.
Because of these things where the cars have to slow down to get more battery. So it's a safety issue. He literally could have died. It's more likely that he would have died than not. So not only is the racing boring because these guys are going slower, we want the cars to go fast. We don't want them to go 30 miles an hour slower every 5 minutes or every 2 minutes and charge up batteries. I was listening to the commentary of the Japanese Grand Prix, and all the commentators were like, they need to charge the battery. It's like, okay, can they just drive the car? Like, what are we doing? You know, and then again, it causes accidents and it ruins entertainment. So guess what? The drivers, including the legendary Max Verstappen, who warned that this was going to happen years ago with these new regulations, is like, I don't want to drive these cars anymore because I feel like I'm not even in control. I don't have a wheel, but let me use this. Okay. So if I'm holding this, right? Normally when you're driving a car, if I'm turning left, I can turn left this way. Turning right, I can go. I don't want to flip the bird on somebody. I apologize. I just did that. Okay. You turn the car, you go this way. You turn the wheel, it goes this way. Well, on F1, if I'm going left now, it's coom. It's coom. It's slow, aggressive movement. The wheel doesn't turn this way or this way. That's not driving. You're just jerking the wheel. Like, what is going on? It's so stupid and so dumb. And the reason why, which by the way, Brandon, you and I talk about cars all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Would you buy Mercedes just because you saw a Mercedes in Formula One?
I mean, probably not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The manufacturers like Audi and Cadillac who have gone into Formula One think, hey, we want to promote electric cars to normal people. So let's put electric motors in Formula One so we can promote electric cars to people. Like, no, I'm not buying a Mercedes because I'm watching Formula One. I'm watching the drivers and the crew chiefs and the people. It's so stupid.
Have we realized yet that we just don't have the technology capable to make electric vehicles sustainable?
Like, right now in 2026, and they're doing it in Formula One.
And it's unbelievable. It's not, the amount of cars I've seen broken down on the road are not gas vehicles. They're not. It's all electric cars. I'm like,
or hybrid, because basically an F1 car is hybrid. The battery has to get charged.
Yeah,
and you need the battery to charge in order to pass people.
Well, yeah, you can run it off of gas though, but
they used to. But they want hybrid motors because everyone is driving hybrids now.
Look at we always kept saying, oh, in the future we want self-driving cars. In the future we want cars that are more eco-friendly. But the problem is that a human can respond to things like in that moment that a computer might not be able to.
The Bearman crash. The Bearman crash is
a freaking self-driving car.
Well, by the way, the Bearman crash is a perfect example of this. The drivers have said we don't feel like we're driving the car. The battery's pushing us. Well, guess what? If the battery pushes you enough, you're gonna crash and potentially die. There you go.
That's already happened. Where you see people who I've seen Teslas go into ditches, and I've seen this on the news too. And they're like, "Oh, what happened to the driver?" Because the driver put the damn car in cruise control and decided he didn't want to drive anymore while he's on the road. I'm like,
but that's. Can you imagine being an F1 driver where you're supposed to have full command of the car and the entire car feels like it's in cruise control?
Yeah.
Can you believe how awful that sounds terrifying and awful. Exactly, Scoop. Terrifying and awful.
See that?
I want to see the guys drive a car.
See a lot of people will crap on, listen, I'm not a big racing guy, but I do like F1. But a lot of people crap on NASCAR. It's like, oh, it's Americanized, it's hillbilly. I'm like, they still drive gas-powered cars. I'm like, they're still in control of that damn car.
Actually, it's Poet. So it's bioethanol. It's bioethanol.
It's still a lot better than what the F1 drivers are dealing with.
Yes,
it's it's not, and they still have control over their cars. That's the main thing, is they still have control over the car. So I'm like, I can't imagine.
Even IndyCar is better. IndyCar, they have control of the car.
Because could you imagine if you were a driver and they said, "Here, basically sit in this ticking time bomb and let us fly you around the track at 200 plus miles an hour." Do you know how crazy that is to think that? Because that's exactly what's happening here.
They're not driving. They don't feel like they're driving the car.
I don't understand. I just don't understand.
It's Mario Kart. Hey, push this button to go faster.
Yeah,
what is happening here?
I'm like, I can't imagine, in any walk of life, even people today who over here, like just when you're with your friends, like my friends have really nice cars, and but none of them they're not EV. They're not a single one is. But it's like when they want to race each other, when they feel like it, if they want to, and I've seen them do it, it's like they're in complete control of the car. There's no issues. I'm like, I couldn't imagine being in a car with one of my friends and saying, hey, like, I want to push this thing faster. Let me just hit a button that makes it go faster. Like, no, I want your hand on the wheel and your foot on the pedal. I don't want a button that makes it go faster. What are we doing? Like, and it's like, and of course, because once again, modern technology, like I was saying before, what if it fails? Then what? Then we're all
It
dead.
literally just failed, and a guy almost died.
That's what I'm saying. Then we're all potentially dead. Or if it's a good scenario, we have broken legs and broken arms. So it's like I wish.
And then good luck pushing a button that way.
And that and then so
yes,
like,
exactly.
I just can't. Like, I understand that people really want to see this push for more electric options, and I understand why. But
why are we doing it in racing? Why are we doing it in motorsport?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
It's like, I get it if it's like everyday life, sure. But in a motorsport where you're going 200 plus miles an hour, no. Like I wish that people would understand that just because there's newer forms of technology doesn't mean something is inherently better. Newer doesn't mean better.
Yep.
And it's becoming a problem in motorsports, but in any sport where it's like there are certain
it's been a problem in sports.
Yeah, like it's like where it's like they're like, oh, because it's a very real thing of like, they're like, oh well, this technology does this and this. I'm like, okay, but there's always that chance that it won't work because the computer's fried. There's a technical issue. And then at that point, either
or the car in front of you is going too slow and you have to swerve off the track.
Yeah, like
which is what happened.
Which is So it's like whenever I look at just a lot of sports, like I'm a purist with sports in general, but when it comes to certain technological advancements, like I love ABS in baseball. But that makes sense. That's baseball. That's not driving a speeding bullet at 200 plus miles an hour.
And last I checked, a ball going into a glove wasn't putting somebody's life on the line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like people
unless the ball misses its target by 50 feet, and then it still gets called a strike by CB Buckner.
Like it's rare. Like in sports, it's rare if you get so much force and it kills you. But in motorsports,
every time you step in the car, you're risking death.
Exactly.
That's the reality of it.
And that goes for any motorsport. That goes for
any of them.
NASCAR, motocross with the dirt bikes, F1, anything.
IndyCar, anything.
Any of those motorsports. Even with the monster trucks and Monster Jam, those things catch on fire. I've seen that, and the guys get stuck in there. Yeah.
No,
wait, you don't know Monster Jam?
You haven't seen Monster Jam? Monster trucks.
Okay.
They're giant wheeled. Okay, wait.
I know what monster trucks are. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
wait, have you seen Monster Jam though?
Mm-mm.
Oh, we're gonna pull this up.
My!
We have the technology.
I'm about to pull up Monster Jam.
I have a question, but I feel like it's a stupid question. I don't want to ask it.
No. Ask it. We're here to help you learn.
Monster Jam, is that the movie that had Jordan in it?
That's Space Jam.
No, that's Space Jam. Oh my god!
But the team he was playing.
I just said I was afraid to ask.
Look, Scoop. I'm just gonna pull up pictures. Look at this,
bro. It's a black screen, and okay. Yeah, okay. I've seen pictures of that. I just didn't know what it was called.
Yeah,
it's called Monster Jam. But yeah, look at how high this guy is going. That's dangerous.
By the way, that's nothing. That's now
literally
that is serious air. When you see, by the way, those things weigh a shit ton.
Literal tons, by the way.
So when they're flying through the air like that, it is something. It's a spectacle. I've seen it live. I've seen it at MetLife Stadium. Those guys going through the air are braver than me. And the thing is, the shock you have to absorb from hitting the ground after those big jumps sucks.
Oh my god, yeah, you're rumbling around in the car and you have all these things strapped to you, and
but it's like I've seen crashes there too. Like in motorsports, if in our daily life, just driving a car down the road and we're getting into accidents with electric vehicles, why would you try to push motorsports as a whole to go in this direction almost overnight? Why? If we can barely handle it in our daily lives, just going to the grocery store, why are you giving it to guys who are driving a speeding death trap at 200 miles an hour? Doesn't make any sense.
It's because F1 wants more manufacturers involved, and all they make is electric cars. Well, we don't need more manufacturers then. Keep the drivers safe. Let me finish up by playing this video I found on YouTube from who's this from? It's from I forgot it's from because I just found it the other day, and I was
didn't Lewis Hamilton say that he actually originally he liked the idea of this, and then it was
Lewis. So what happens is when F1 makes transitions, some drivers like it and some drivers don't. Lewis Hamilton initially was like, okay, I can kind of get behind it, and then once that crash that I showed you happened, every driver was like, we're done. Screw this. We can't do this. So this is from Chris G Racing, I believe. He's a really popular F1 YouTuber. I just found him. This is about how F1 has always been bad because of the same thing with baseball, Scoop, of like the disparity in money, and how F1 has tried to basically fix that by adjusting the car versus adjusting money. So this is him talking about F1 has always been awful, and I think it's pretty funny.
Bring back real racing when it's always been terrible. In 2025, they were driving a boat. Fernando Alonso said he won't miss them. Max Verstappen said he won't miss them. Was it good in the turbo hybrid era when Mercedes won everything? Fans and drivers complained it was boring. Was it good when we had DRS? Better racing, but is it fake? This article's from 2011. Sounds like 2026 to me. Was it good when the tires artificially degrade to make the racing better? People hated Formula 1 in the 2000s. Refueling was terrible. Everyone got overtaken in the pits. Overtaking was almost impossible. Michael Schumacher and Ferrari won everything. People complained it was boring. In the 90s, everyone complained about reliability issues. And like half the grid were pay drivers. In the 60s and 70s, Formula 1 drivers used to complain that aerodynamics had been added to the car and that was killing Formula 1. Formula 1 has never been good. People are just blinded by nostalgia bias. Fans and drivers have always complained about something. That has always happened. That will always happen. So if you don't want to watch, don't watch. But don't complain about artificial racing when that has always been the case. And if you'd like to...
And by the way, the reason why the artificial racing exists is because of the money gap. Oh, and by the way, did you hear what he said? Back in the day, they used to artificially...
I couldn't understand a word he said, to be honest with you.
Dude, he literally said that back in the day in Formula 1, they artificially degraded the tires so that guys would the pits.
Oh.
What?
Wait, but then he also says like, oh, like that if you don't like it, don't watch. I don't want to watch someone potentially die on a racetrack because of this.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
It's so bad. So bad.
But it's like I hate when listen, I know that that's their thing overseas. I get it. But so I get that, it's a British guy.
It's getting more popular over here, and that's why they're making the changes, because manufacturers are like, we want electric cars. Go buy an electric car, Americans. Here's electric cars in Formula 1. Blech.
Yeah. And it's like but it's like in the same video where he's like, oh yeah, F1 fans, always complain about something. Because we don't want to see people lose lives or jobs over this. It's not worth it. If you just do the right thing and get this crap out of it.
Let the drivers flipping race,
Yes,
it's more fun.
yes, and then we can actually see skill versus skill, not computer versus computer.
And who has the better computer based on how many money they have?
Yeah,
How much money they
how much
have?
money?
Okay. Bray and I have been yelling about this as well. Italy has not been to the World Cup since 2014. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? They lost to Bosnia. Brandon, what is happening to Italy?
I didn't think it was. I mean, I know you warned me about that, but I was like, okay, listen. I'm like, I know Italy's been bad, like really bad, but I didn't think they were that bad to lose to Bosnia. I was like, okay. Like when you showed me the final score, I was like, you can't be serious. Like, there's no way.
In penalties.
And that makes it even worse.
Three straight World Cups. You know, we know there's a really famous goalkeeper scoop, Gigi Donnarumma, who's the best goalkeeper in the world right now. He has not been to a World Cup because Italy's been that bad over the last 16 years. This is Italy. This is one of the most famous countries in the world when it comes to football. Their defensive system is literally... Their defensive system is literally why Arsenal's the best team in the Premier League right now. They're just running the same system. Anyway, Scoop, continue.
Oh, okay. I was confused by the connection there.
Same tactics. Same what is it? Same understandings.
Okay.
And they just use it. Anyway, Scoop, go.
With what?
You were saying about how Italy's big in soccer and how this is a shock. Even you know, and you're still following soccer.
Oh,
we're getting used to it.
Oh no, because I remember during COVIDism I would go back and I watched in fact shout out to, I don't know if she's still watching, but when I was very first met Nicole Gizzi, there was a soccer player that she loved, and she doesn't mention him anymore. I don't know why. But there's a soccer player she loved. He was an Italian player by the name of Nicola Zaniolo, and
I do recognize the name. I do recognize the name at least.
And so I watched the Italy team. Well, I would have watched them anyway, but I watched them a little more just because she would talk about him and about them and whatnot. And again, it was that era, so it's not like there was a wider swath of free time and fewer things with which to do it, or fewer things with whatever.
Yeah, I know you meant.
Yeah, there were things to watch. So soccer was one of the first things that came back, or football.
Yeah. So I watched that a little bit, but again, and then I going back to, because I was telling y'all that I went to a party at which the World Cup was that was the main focus back, and I think it was the 2014 World Cup. Now that I remember, but I can't say that with a ton of depth I have a particular knowledge about the struggles for the Italian team since then.
Dude, Scoop, the struggle is very simple. This is one of the most important countries for the history. Soccer isn't what it is without Italy, right? And they in the span of 3 World Cups, we're not going to see them, and yet we're going to see Bosnia and Haiti and Congo, but no Italy. In a World Cup with 48 teams, an expanded World Cup, Italy can't even make it in. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. It's unfathomable, honestly. It's just yeah. I mean, and it's crazy. But I told Brandon, I was like, here's my hot take, Bosnia's gonna win. And I hit that right on the head.
And they did, yeah.
Can you believe we're gonna see Bosnia but not Italy? We're gonna have when we make this a World Cup show in June and we start talking about all these World Cup games, we're gonna sit there and we're gonna go, oh my God, Bosnia is here, but Italy's not.
And then now who are they now? They won. Who are they in the group with?
Bosnia's group. Let me check. Bosnia. Let me see. FIFA World Cup groups. Let me see, because now the groups are done. So let me see what we got here. Bosnia is in a group with Canada, Qatar, and Switzerland. A group that Italy would have absolutely won.
Yeah, and the thing is, Bosnia might actually win that group. Well, Switzerland probably.
Well, Canada and Switzerland are probably good. Canada's really good. Canada's really good right now. USA has Paraguay.
I've never taken Canada seriously for soccer.
They're really good. They're really good. Our USA has so us, Paraguay, Australia, and now Turkey, because Turkey beat Romania. Let's see, and then for you, Brandon, for Portugal, you have Congo now, Uzbekistan, and Colombia.
Well, I don't have to watch the group stage. I know we're getting through.
How bad are you going to beat Congo?
They should just forfeit now. Because Ronaldo or no Ronaldo, Portugal's gonna beat them like 5-0. So it's like,
hey, you beat us 2-0, and it looked worse than actually was because Portugal US was.
And I saw so many Portuguese people complaining about the result. I'm like, you do realize that A, it's a friendly, and B, it's the Portuguese B team. And
I know.
And that B team has played maybe 5 minutes with each other, and they still beat the US 2-0 because it's Portugal.
Dude,
I'm like,
Belgian mixed with an A team and a B team beat us 5-2.
Yeah,
it's bad.
And our B team shut you out. So it's like,
dude, I will talk about it when we get closer to the World Cup, but I am scared. If the US doesn't make at least a quarterfinal, I will break my television. And I think it's more likely to happen now.
Pretty good chance they won't.
Oh God. It's so bad. I want to see you guys play Congo. All the drums and everything. It's gonna be sick.
Oh yeah, all the drums are beating them 9-0.
All the drums are going.
Yeah, all right.
Oh my God.
Goodness.
All right. That's our new segment, Scoop's International Flavor. There you go. F1 and some World Cup thoughts. Go ahead, Scoop. Continue.
Goodness gracious. Well, thank you for that international flavor segment, infusing both Formula One and obviously some soccer, which we've covered a little bit recently. And I was hoping that with the kind of surge that the Magpies were having, that we would have a little bit more of that on their front. But I think that kind of seems to maybe have
not to be. You guys lost kind of rough.
Yeah.
Earlier this week.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted, as they say. But pulling off of that, we circle back into baseball. I think to kind of pick up from where we left off last night. If you guys didn't have anything to add on the,
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would love that.
So Rob, pardon me. I'll start with, we talked yesterday, obviously, a lot about the Mariners Yankees series. So kind of, I guess, more on a holistic picture. Is there anything that you saw from that first two series that you're looking at and thinking, okay, this is definitely an area of need this season, or okay, this is definitely something to build on?
I'm really concerned about our next few weeks. I'll pull up both of our schedules, actually, because I know that I didn't pull them up fully last night, but we can take a look.
I know we start against Miami tomorrow at 12.
Right, you guys have this really early. No, I don't want.
I'm really sick of day games during the week, by the way.
Yeah.
I understand why it exists, but I also very much hate it. No, Mariner Moose, I don't have a question. I appreciate it, but I don't have a question. Okay. You'll see it.
Hang on. I missed a message from Kenny. He said, "Good evening, fellas. I can see it in Scoop's face. He's going to Walmart and buying some Hot Wheels after this." What in the hell are you talking about?
Because our F1 talk and Monster Jam talk.
Our F1 and Monster Jam.
I don't know what Hot Wheels. I barely know what Hot Wheels are. I just know that they have the flames on the sides.
You never played with Hot Wheels as a kid?
I'm sure I did. I just don't remember.
Oh, okay, fair.
I definitely had car sets and like had like the race tracks that you like do this whole thing and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Look at this giant Mariner Moose asking me if I have a question. I don't have I love you, Mariner Moose, but I don't have a question. Okay. So looking at the schedule,
fact that it's covering up half the screen is irritating me.
It's so funny. I'm gonna leave it because I think it's funny. So think about let's just look at April here for the Mariners and the Yankees.
Okay.
So Angels, Rangers, Houston, San Diego, Texas again. So rivals everywhere. And then Athletics. So rival in division the entire month until we finish off. That stresses me out. I'm really stressed out by the fact that the entire thing is just in division, and then you have that important series in San Diego. Do you see especially when this team is just going for the long ball? And they'll have a better shot the long ball. We're gonna look through.
Yeah, Kenny, we're gonna get the Yankees one after the Mariners one. I wanted to start with the Mariners first for Rob.
Do you see am I overthinking this? The fact that there's rivals everywhere on this schedule until the back half of the month.
No, but I think that's typically, I think, by design for a lot of teams. I think that they do that to open the season and end the season. I know that historically the Yankees, it's been a lot of Blue Jays, it's been a lot of Rays, it's been a lot of Red Sox. Houston, I know that when I went to the opening series, I think it was like 12 years ago, it was Houston. That was before the rivalry kind of really developed, but yeah, so that doesn't really surprise me. I do think that Padres series is going to be fun to watch because I think the Padres, I mean, they got a nice bullpen now. They got Mason Miller back there, which, by the way, his walkout for San Diego, if you all haven't seen the clip yet, go watch it. That clip is cold.
I really like that series is the Jackie Robinson Day series.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
And then
the better Cup series,
whoever's after that. Oh, the Rangers. Okay, I couldn't see under the Moose.
Yeah. Can we? I love that the Moose is here. Ranger. So then we finish off with St. Louis and Minnesota on the road. So I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, you guys. Even on the road, you guys should. I mean, I honestly. I think the Twins are going to be an easier time for y'all, and maybe even the Cardinals are going to be an easier time for y'all than the Athletics are.
Oh, no, I think so, too, because, again, I'm looking what the division looks like. And, again, that's at home. I really like going on the road to Sacramento because that ballpark is awful. So anytime I can go on the road, it's a good feeling. And then, let's see, I'm gonna close this, and I'm going to have you boys yell about your schedule. Why did the Yankees schedule default to June? Did the Yankees know that April and May are important?
Have you seen us play in those months?
True. I like your schedule because it's so early for teams going to need it. Exactly. It's going to help before the deadline.
That's how I feel about ours. And I also, and keep this in mind also, is we saw it today with Connor Griffin with the Pirates agreeing to that 9-year, $140 million extension with the top prospect in baseball, which I wonder what bank the Pirates use, because I'm sure Bob Nutting just got that email that was like, we've detected unauthorized and unusual activity on your card for actually spending money for once.
Bank of America or whatever they use. Yeah.
Bank of America or whatever. But I think you'll see more of this. I think other teams, the Yankees may very much be a part of that. I know the Mariners just did this with Cole Emerson, but agreeing to terms on deals with some of your young guys in advance of the presumed December 1st work stoppage. So I think that you'll see some of that as well. I think some of that may impact, or probably will impact, I think is the better way to put it, the way that the trade deadline push it kind of plays out this year.
Yeah, Buster only put out a report. It was probably the most obvious report he's going to put out all year, which is basically saying anyone that's up for contract, the teams are going to try to renew as quick as possible. Teams and the players.
That was basically what I was talking about.
Yeah, so I like that. Get the grandfathered in thing. Just get the money. Okay, so So you guys have a nice homestand. Marlins Athletics on the road against the Rays. Angels, Royals are going to be fun. I always like when you guys go up to the Royals here.
It's weird because we usually beat them, but it's usually much more competitive than we think it'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as we go to the back half, sorry, my thing is bugging here. The Red Sox, all games national TV the week of the NFL draft, which is kind of a funny scenario, which is why I think they're at 6-10. Astros, and then you finish up with the Rangers. In my opinion, it's a much easier schedule than what the Mariners have, to be truthful. But what do you guys think?
The only go ahead, Scoop.
The two series that I'm looking at, going to the Trop and playing the Rays.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
And of course, this is probably the obvious other one. Even though I don't think they're going to be great this year, those rivalry games just mean more. The Yankees Red Sox series.
Yeah.
The series against,
especially with all of them, as always, on national TV.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be watching that. So
right now that being said, the Athletics, like I said, as I said for you guys, I wouldn't take the Athletics lightly.
Neither would I.
Yeah. The Mariners, the Marlins, even, excuse me. They're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be a good team this year, but I think they're going to be a feisty team this year. The Angels are kind of just, they exist, I guess. And then
I love that's your Jackie Robinson Day game. Don't even watch it. Watch another game.
I'll probably be watching y'all's game. And then again, the Stros are always going to be good because they have really good personnel in terms of making those picks, but like those series just don't have the same juice that they did 3 years ago.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And probably the thing that'll get me the most fired up about that series is whatever the hell Jody DMs me the day before. And then closing it out against the Rangers. Again, another series where it's probably the most interesting thing to me about that series is going to be they've got a lot. They kind of did what the Yankees did at the end of the Core 4 tenure, where it's like they got a lot of good names on that team, but they're all on AARP at this point. So it's like
the Rangers, right? The Rangers,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, correct? I'm just looking up something important for Johnson Day really quick. Anyway, continue.
They've got a lot of names that are probably going to get at least consideration for Hall of Fame votes eventually. But I mean, McCutchen is what, 43 or something. They brought in Brandon Nimmo, but they brought in Brandon Nimmo when his value had never been lower, and they don't have Simeon anymore, and Simeon was arguably one of their two best players. This is a Rangers team where there's a lot of veterans on this team, but it's a lot of veterans in a different way than it was in 2023, when you're like, this is a team that really feels like they could go all the way. Like, they just don't feel that way for me this year. They feel like a team that's going to be, they can win a postseason series, I think, but they'd have to get a favorable matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny says it would not surprise him. Kenny said it would not surprise him if the Royals won the Central this year. It wouldn't surprise me either, but it's only because there's 3 other teams in that division that I can't see winning that division. You're going to tell me that the White Sox or the Twins are going to win that division, and then the Guardians. I just due respect to Stephen Vogt. I think he's really starting to sink his teeth in as a manager, but Cleveland has moved off more guys than they've moved on or moved in the last couple of years. And while that has worked for them at times in the past, we're moving further and further out from those years where Cleveland was, even though they were in the bottom half of payroll, they were in the top half of wins. We're moving further and further out from that. And, Jose Ramirez can't carry the whole thing himself.
This is what I'm excited about. Ron Darling, Joe Buck, and Oral doing Jackie Robinson Day Mets docs on ESPN.
That's great. I love that.
That's gonna be
awesome.
fantastic. That's gonna be fantastic. So I'm literally on that day. That's the number one game I want to see that. So I'm really exciting. I'm really excited for that. That's probably the biggest thing I'm excited for baseball this month is this game. So yeah. Anything else, Brandon, on your schedule? What do you have in mind? Do you just feel confident going into the month of April?
I think I'm confident, especially after that 5-1 start. But because if it was like 2-4, 3-3, I'd be like, oh, okay, let's just wait and see. But after 5-1, and given how that pitching has looked, now it's probably going to falter by the end of the month because you can't keep up a 4-man rotation. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah.
But I definitely do think that the Trop is a house of horrors. It wouldn't surprise me if we only won one of the 3 of those games. And then you have Boston's Boston. No matter if Boston's really good or really bad, or if we're really good or really bad, those games are always nail biter down to the wire. That also
fun games.
Yeah, that also wouldn't surprise me if we took 1 out of 3 there. But I think all the other ones, I think those are all series wins, honestly. And if that's the case, then you don't want to start off against the division, and you don't want to be 2-4 against the division. But at the same time, if you're gonna win, if you're gonna win damn near all those other series against the other teams, you're still in great shape at the end of the season. So, I'm not too concerned yet. I think I'm pretty confident. The Rangers don't really give us much of a struggle every time we've played them. The A's are good, but I think the A's also haven't really the A's are good against teams that are kind of like them, sneaky and fun, but not great.
Yeah.
And I think that listen, they had a chance to wipe the floor with the Blue Jays, and they just couldn't capitalize. So that's the A's are a type of team that
that series was weird.
The A's are always the type of team, especially in the last 2 years, where it's like they'll stick with you for 6-7 innings and then just implode late. That's just that just is what it is when it comes to them. So it's like I expect those games to be tight for 2/3 of it, and then for the Yankees to basically beat them in pretty much, if not all those games, at least most of them. So I'm not too worried. I think, and I think that also, if this lineup is going to be able to, have timely hits, which they have been so far, and if Aaron Judge does get going by the end of the month, that'll factor into a lot of wins, obviously. So, yeah, I'm not really worried yet. It's early. You still want to win every game that you can. And I've always said that game 1 is important. It's just as important as game 162.
Yep.
Which
that segues into something I was going to ask you about. But I want to let you finish this point first.
Yeah, that's why I'm always the biggest fan of take care of business. Just and you're not going to sweep every series, but you got to put your best foot forward to win every series you can. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. At the worst, you split 2 out of 4. Because obviously if you're going 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4, or getting swept, you're not going to be hanging around in September and October. So we'll see what happens. But it's early, but I'm pretty confident that they're gonna play well against that schedule.
Yeah, I agree.
What are we gonna ask you?
Well, it ask / just talk about. But did you guys see the report that Brandon Cody put out this series or this weekend about during the series against the Giants or just after it? There was a report that came out that said that there was a players own. I don't know if I would say players only meeting. That typically has a bad connotation, but a meeting that was led by Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Paul Goldschmidt, and which makes sense since they're the 3 active veterans right now, since Cole is not back yet, and yada yada yada. but they basically had this meeting that basically was saying what Brandon's talking about right now, just talking about emphasizing, laser-like focus, not being complacent with in not letting success make you take your foot off the gas. Like when you are succeeding, find something to get hungry about and to hone in on improving that basically. And kind of with a tone of basically saying we don't want to end the season the way we did the last 2 years. And so I was just interested to see, because normally, typically you see these meetings called and get leaked or talked about or whatever you want to say in the media. When a team is struggling, typically not when a team has started 5-1. So I just kind of was interested in that, but
they care about winning the World Series. They don't want to mess around. This is not a mess around year for them, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was glad to see the players. We knew that they took it seriously, quote unquote. But to see them have, whether it's we don't care if we're winning or we don't care that we're winning. We don't care how early it is. We're gonna set this tone from the beginning, and that's what you'd want to see from your captain and from Goldie and from Stanton. But there's actually, I'm gonna go to the other side of the league because there's a team that I think has to be talked about today. That's the Pittsburgh Pirates. We talked about I mentioned Connor Griffin earlier. We made a passing reference to them. 9 years, $140 million. As he makes his as he makes his league debut today in the majors. This is a guy who was just drafted a couple years ago. He's a shortstop. He was largely believed to be not only the top prospect in baseball now, but probably perhaps the best top prospect and kind of most aggressive promoted guy that they've had as a position player, maybe since Bryce Harper. And I'm a huge fan of his in terms of, I think that his biggest struggle at one point was the hit tool, which is obviously very important, whether you're a shortstop or not. And we've seen all too many times, both as Mariners and Yankees fans, how many times that they get really loud tools, but that one never comes along, and you see what happens to those guys. They become quad A players. But seemingly overnight, literally, the guy figured out the hit tool. Seemingly, he rocketed up the majors into the majors rather, and is now making his debut today. So, with that, Brandon, your thoughts on the deal for Griffin? What do you think of this from the Pirates standpoint? And does it impact how you see the Pirates now and going forward as in terms of relevance in Major League Baseball?
It's really interesting that a guy that young is already getting major money.
Yeah, it's happening all over the league. It's wild.
Especially from the Pirates. We can't stress that enough, that this is a guy who was born in 2006 who's getting paid $140 million from the Pittsburgh Pirates, a team that doesn't spend a dime on anybody.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
It's just wild to think that it's when it's crazy. We're not old, but when we were younger, growing up watching baseball, it was like you didn't pay guys who never played a game in the MLB. You didn't pay them this kind of money. You just didn't do that. So it's a big gamble. But apparently, for the Pirates to do this, they must believe it's really worth it. But it's just, it's I could see why, when the guys, batting average, OPS throughout the minors has never dipped below, has never dipped below 325, and his OPS has never dipped below 930.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you got to bring him up at that point.
As a shortstop, but no less. As a shortstop.
Yeah, and so it's and for a guy who was quite literally only in his time in the minors, only ever committed 9 total. I think was it 9? No, 14 total errors.
Yeah.
In how many years already? Well, and
that's crazy.
In 2 years, because I think he was drafted in 24.
Yeah.
And he was drafted in 24. Shout out, by the way, he was drafted out of high school from Flowood, which Flowwood is a town in Mississippi that's about 10 minutes from me. It's the next town over.
What a name, Flowwood. That's a great name for a town.
Yep, there's 3 towns around here, kind of that do the perimeter of Jackson: Brandon, Flowwood, and Madison. And Flowwood. It's actually when I talk to you guys about going to watch college football at my buddy's house, that's the town that I go to. I go past the Hayes High School every time I go over there. There's a lot of people here rooting for him, and looking forward to seeing what happens there. But guys, I got to be honest. I told you guys last week or 2 weeks ago whenever Kenny asked that I couldn't think of a National League sleeper team this year. Look out for the Pirates, I think. They've got
no way.
They've got.
Are you serious?
Listen. They got Brandon Lowe. They got Connor Griffin. They got Paul Skeens, obviously, who I don't care what anybody says, he's not going to be as anywhere near what he was last week.
The rest of the pitching staff is shit.
Delinsky, I'm an Ashcraft fan. They improved their bullpen this offseason. I'm in no way saying look for them to win playoff series, but I'm saying as a surprise second or third wild card team, especially in that division with the Cardinals rebuilding as they are right now. The Reds haven't shown me that they can put anything of note together, and the Brewers are continually getting in their own way.
That's so. I don't hate it necessarily, but I'm shocked by that. Before we go, Kurt asked earlier Final Four picks, so I wanted to give my picks.
Sorry, I completely forgot about that.
No, I wanted to give my picks before we go for both the men's and the women's side. Obviously, please, I beg, watch both of the women's Final Four games tomorrow. This is probably going to be one of the best Final Fours in a long time. It's all one seeds. It's all number ones. I'm going what I did on my bracket. I'm going UConn and Texas. UConn will blow out South Carolina by 20. I think Texas and UCLA is going to be fascinating. But UConn is absolutely going to win. I have no question about that. But I think Texas and UCLA is going to be great. For the men's side on Saturday, which, by the way, we're trying to figure out how to put FAH around it because we know people are going to watch the Final Four. I also want to watch the Final Four. So let's see. I am going UConn, and I'm going to go UConn, Michigan, and I'll go upset. I'll go UConn wins both the men's and the women's.
That's crazy. If they when's the last time that has that ever happened where both
2012 Shabazz Napier year. Remember Shabazz Napier?
Yeah,
of course I do, because I was watching the Heat when we drafted him, or not we, because I'm not following them anymore. But when I was watching them when he got drafted and he turned into just an absolute nothing burger, just like Justice Winslow did.
I hate Justice Winslow. Jesus, don't ever say that name again. I hated watching that guy play basketball. He pissed me off. He had so much potential. He just never tapped it. Okay, so what are your guys' predict? Do you guys want to give men's and women's predictions, or do you guys?
Can I go second because my bracket is taking forever to load?
Yeah, Brain, do you want to do women's first? Since that's tomorrow. So South Carolina, UConn first.
Yeah. I think, man, it's tough, but I think. I mean, the UConn women, I had them winning the whole thing. So
yeah, so did I. So did everyone. Yeah.
So I mean, and it would be an upset if they didn't. And listen, if it could very well still happen, but I don't think it's likely. So I got UConn over. Unfortunately, Deuce Staley's sister, Dawn Staley.
Oh my gosh, I forget about that.
Yeah.
All right. Which is the more interesting matchup?
Yeah, here. And then I think but the Texas UCLA, it's tight, but Texas is going to have more of a home crowd behind them. They are playing the game in Phoenix, so I think that does matter to a degree.
Yep.
At least I believe that that's more of a, because I know UCLA is South California, but
yeah.
But I think that's gonna be mostly gonna be a Texas crowd. So I think I'm thinking UConn Texas as the final. And I would say, and of course, I told you I picked UConn women to win it. Now, for the men is tough because, I mean, let's be honest. UConn shouldn't be here. They are because Duke fell asleep.
Duke fell asleep the entire tournament. And they just got lucky until UConn came along.
And it's crazy because we didn't even talk about the ending to that game and how all Boozer had to do.
It was unbelievable.
All Boozer had to do was just throw that ball a little bit higher over the outstretched defender, and it was game over.
It's over. Yeah.
But it's but yeah, I think UConn is just on a roll, and I think it's UConn Michigan also, but I don't think UConn can beat Michigan at all. I think UConn's also kind of gotten here with a little bit of luck. I think Michigan has handled business every step of the way in the tournament. So, I mean, they've knocked out tons of big name teams. They've won every game by pretty much 20 or more. And I think that doesn't change in the final. I think, listen, it's great for Dan Hurley to get there. It's great for the Big East to represent. But at the same time, I don't think there's a shot in hell that UConn can beat Michigan. But how Michigan's playing, I don't think so. But we'll see. Crazy things have happened, but I think it's gonna be Michigan, UConn, and I think Michigan takes it. I don't think it's gonna be UConn winning both sides of the tournament. I think it's the women clearly, and I think it's the Michigan men that take it all.
Scoop, what do you say for the men's and women's side here?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll go women's first because my final four picks were UConn versus South Carolina and UCLA versus Texas.
That's what everybody did.
Yeah, so I'm not breaking any news there, and I have UConn being the winner of that.
Who wins Texas UCLA?
Oh, sorry. I have why can't I figure out this is being bonkers to me for some reason. Oh, I'm sorry. I have Texas over UCLA. There we go.
Yeah, so we all have UConn, Texas. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, for the men.
My two final four games that I had predicted were UConn were Duke versus Florida and Michigan versus Arizona. So one of those games.
You got one of them. Good.
Yeah. And then the other one I just completely botched. But
we all did.
Yeah.
But fortunately my champion pick is still in the running because I had Michigan going all the way, and I'm sticking with that. And then on the other side of it, UConn versus Illinois. See, it's funny because neither one of these. I mean, obviously, I didn't pick either one of these teams. I don't exactly know how far I had Illinois going. I'm trying to track that right now. I had Illinois losing to Houston in the Sweet 16, apparently.
I had what I had too. I think if I remember.
And I had UConn losing to. Oh, I had them losing to Duke. Okay.
Yeah. So did I.
Yeah, but in any event, for this game, I'm going to go Illinois over UConn, and then I'll go Michigan to win it all.
I will say I have a bunch of friends who went to Illinois. They're Chicago boys, so I have a rooting interest. I do want Illinois to win the whole thing, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
I also have a rooting interest just because I'll never root for a UConn team.
Well, we're the
even on the woman. Even on the woman, you won't.
I'll be happy for them if they win, but it's just even before I went to Seton Hall as a Q's fan growing up, I hated UConn.
Fair. All right, I think that's all we have because we hit the 2-hour mark.
Well,
Anything else before we go?
We do have. Well, there's two things actually. That this is the first time since they said it because they said it about 2 hours ago on SportsCenter. This is the first time since 1994 that neither Mickelson nor Tiger will be in the Masters.
That's wild.
The Tiger thing has taken so many twists and turns that I don't even know how to cover it anymore.
Yeah.
The president is involved.
Yeah,
which I wasn't expecting. Like, there's just so much crap happening here, and I don't even know where. Essentially, the body cam footage tells an interesting story, but everything else that I'm hearing tells something different. So what is it? I don't know. I feel like I can't cover it properly.
It's just crazy
because I'm like, what do we do?
But it's just crazy that it's been 30 plus years since either one of them have been in the tournament. So
isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and I didn't even, I mean, maybe nobody did, I don't know, but I didn't even find out until right before this show that Mickelson was not going to be there, and it's due to a family matter, for those who didn't hear.
Yeah. I will say though, do you guys want to do Masters Fantasy again? Brandon, do you want to do it again? I thought it was fun. I thought we had a good time with it.
Yeah, it wasn't
I don't
bad.
even remember doing that last year. Did I not know you guys yet?
No,
we did
Brandon
this
and I did it
like 2 years
Did
ago.
we do it?
Three
No,
years
we missed
ago.
it. We missed it last year. We did it 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really fun. You basically pick 4 golfers and you can switch them throughout each day.
Okay.
And then basically who has the best total score wins.
I was gonna say if you're gonna make me pick everybody I think is gonna make the freaking cut, I'm not doing it.
No. That's not the idea. The idea is you kind of ride with 4 golfers and you can switch them in and out the whole way. So it kind of gives you a rooting interest for the Masters.
I do like that because I typically don't. Ever since my guy Ricky Fowler, his prime was not as much anymore. I don't really have as much of a rooting interest in golf as I once did.
This Masters, with everything that's going on with Tiger, and how CBS and ESPN is going to handle it next week. Oh my God, this is going to be something. Not only that, this is going to be some incredible golf at Augusta. As long as the weather can handle itself, which is always a concern. It's going to be a fun week at Augusta National.
Also, I don't know why. I just got it, but I just got to pop up in the corner of my screen. I don't know where it came from, but it gave me an update. Brandon, your Devils are up 4-2 on the Capitals.
Yeah, that was a wild game. I think we were up 2-0, then it was 2-2, then it's
I wanted to talk more about my Flyers today, but every time we get good news, we take 2 steps back. So who gives a damn anymore?
We normally, remember last year we recorded FAH after the Masters. Remember how I said like we need to record after? I want to do that again this year.
I don't remember when I started recording with you guys because for some reason I have
it was June, so it was after the Masters. It was June.
I was gonna say because it made it. I've got stuff that's coming up that makes it look like we knew each other back as far as like March or April, but I don't think so.
Well, that because you were on for our draft show and then you officially became part of the team in
that's
August.
What it was. That's okay. Thank you.
And then, but the thing is, what was I gonna say about the Masters? So I was gonna do that again this year, but Orthodox Easter. I have family over. On the 12th, right after the Masters ends. So
you said you won't be here next Thursday, right?
I won't be here next Thursday. I'm doing a whole Easter thing. But I don't know. I'm still trying. We have to see if there's anything interesting on Wednesday, if we want to record anything on Wednesday. Because I don't know if there will be anything interesting. We'll find out. It's all based on whatever news happens. But normally, I had so much fun doing that last year of us recording right after the Masters that I wanted to do it again, but I can't. So that sucks. So we're going to have to do a Saturday probably. And that's also why I wanted to do Saturday this week, because I think I'm trying to do it before the Final Four starts, because I know people are doing, Christian Easter on Sunday and no one's going to watch because, family over and stuff. And I know you guys have your Easter stuff. So that's kind of a behind the scenes of how we're planning the shows the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I love that the Masters is always on my birthday week because it just gives me something to look forward to on a week where I kind of hate it a little bit because I'm always like, damn, I'm 1 year closer to death. Okay, I'm 1 year closer to death, but let's watch golf. Like that just sounds like a good counterbalance.
By the way, I downloaded PGA Tour for the PS5. It's a surprisingly fun game.
Which one? The 2K one? The 2K one? Which one? The EA one. Yeah, the EA one's fun. I think 2K is better though.
I don't know whether it's EA or 2K, but
Is it? Did you get it through the EA Play thing? Did you pay? You got it through the EA Play thing, right? Through the
I got
catalog.
I got it for free. That's all I know.
Yeah, so it's the EA one. I think the 2K one's better. It's just way more expensive, and it has Tiger Woods on the cover. So make that what you will.
There is one final thing that we do have to cover. I mean, even though it's not big, but I'm just glad to see it. Trevor Bauer is back pitching in America.
Yes. Again, this is on our bottom line. I found this on because normally I like to double check ESPN just to make sure if there's anything I missed for our ticker. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, because I was originally going to put the MLB scores on, but there's only like 3 games on today. Why are there no games on Thursdays in Major League Baseball?
It's typally a travel day.
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
Ken is first to ever be banned. She's actually not. She's actually been in here today. She just hasn't shown her face for some reason.
She's been in here the whole time. The reason why Pringles has to be moved is it came to the point where it's a safety issue for Scoop, at least from it's become a safety issue because Pringles distracts us way too much. Because she's way too cute.
Yeah.
But today Pringles had to be on set because of thunderstorms in your area. So just wanted to make sure that she was
right
protected.
Before that's why I was having tech issues in the beginning because I was telling y'all right before we went live that we had I didn't know there was supposed to be thunderstorms. Myself and my friend Victoria who works here. Neither of us knew that the thunderstorms were going to be hitting, and the next thing, I said, "Oh, it's just a little bit of rain. At least it's not, at least it's not going to thunder or anything." 5 seconds later, I hear a thunder roar.
Let's put it this way: Pringles has been banned from the show just because of her cuteness, because she runs all over Scoop's computer and stuff, and it's just guys, we want to be focused on the show.
No, pretty much it ends up just that, and also one of the biggest things, she sits on my keyboard and just falls asleep there. So it's
falls asleep and you can't see you, and
it gets hard to run a show or co-run a show when there's a big fluffy mat on my keyboard. But
I'm so proud of how you've parented Pringles the last few weeks, because the amount of effort we've put in to just get her settled and be the man of the house, baby.
Yeah,
it's good, man.
It's odd because she's still very young, so it's like that. And I've never had a cat before. I didn't expect to have a cat until the week that I ended up getting her. So the fact that it ended up just being that type of where I was just trying to learn on the fly, basically, but she also was like, I also had to make sure that she was treated well, but also knew that hey, you can't do that if she tries, tearing something up or something. But
and by the way, that takes time. Like when you're new, and this is the advice we gave you. It really does take time, especially when you're a new pet owner. Yeah. There is some grace, but at some point, you got to lock in, and that's. I'm glad that you're doing that.
Of all that, but it's still. I think I've told this story on here, but I'll tell it real quickly. We were watching the World Series. It was Dodgers Blue Jays. The way that I knew that this cat was meant to come over and be here, she was scratching every time they showed the Toronto Blue Jays, scratching pawing at the screen every time they showed the Toronto Blue Jays. I was like, "Yep, you're in the right place," which was hilarious. But anyways, so. All right.
Well, thanks again, Scoop, for letting me add some international stuff here. I want to make sure we cover as many sports worldwide as we can, man.
Yeah, F1 and soccer definitely were nice to add. I'll do this typically is one of y'all can just, if you want to jump in on something and just kind of take it, but I'm not going to add or try and add just for the sake of making a contract, just for the sake of speaking. I'm not going to try and add where I just know I can't add anything. So if it comes to F1 or something like that, I'm going to let y'all dominate that conversation every time.
Here's the deal, Scoop. When the World Cup starts, all we do is talk about soccer. Mm-hmm. We don't stop. So this show is literally going to become a World Cup show for a month, and you're literally, Scoop, we're going to make you watch more soccer than you've ever watched in your life.
I mean,
like it. It's gonna get crazy.
I mean, so I've watched 3 NUFC games in the past month. That already is more soccer than I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, I'm glad you're a fan. You all need Nikki. We're gonna work on that. It's coming. We're gonna work on it.
Nikki said, "Wow, y'all are still going," as if it's in any way a surprise that we're on into a second hour.
And
then said, "Y'all need to do an in-person show." Yeah, it's almost as if it's a little difficult when one person's in the Northeast, one person is in the PNW, and another person's on the Gulf Coast.
And you know what it is?
We'll figure it out.
It's like
we're gonna get together for the Olympics, though.
Yeah, let's all just converge in the middle, equidistantly, and meet up in Topeka, Nebraska.
Oh God! Like, but not for nothing though. But it is actually funny because this is like one of the shortest shows we've had.
No, that is. But it also, like, I think it also, quote unquote, helped, for lack of a better word. We covered a lot of the baseball stuff yesterday, so even though there was a lot more I could have said today and kind of did want to say today, it ended up just being like, you know what? Whoa, Nelly. It was like, you know what? Next week I'll have another week of stats, another week of data, another week of all this stuff. And so some of the takes that I wanted to make this week, I'll just roll over into next week when I have more time or have more of a sort of a package of more.
We're being held hostage by Kenny. He's like, more content.
Being
give us content.
And Nikki said, y'all should meet up at a hockey game.
Eventually.
Yeah. I mean, anytime the NHL wants to do an expansion from 32 to 34 and put a team in Jackson, I'm here.
God, I would hate that. Oh my God, no. You can't fill a stadium.
You know what, Rob? So we had Brandon say that thing last week about making that joke about Utah. I think it was Utah actually.
No, it's Idaho. Idaho.
And so I put that Idaho team in OOTP. Now I want to go on Shell and put a team in Mississippi.
Dude, I swear to God,
Nikki said,
can't fill a stadium.
Nikki said, "Hey Scoops, I'm anti-expansion. I know, that's why I waited for you to be in here before I mentioned it."
Well, here's the thing. I'm anti-expansion to a point. The NHL needed 32 teams.
I hope they don't expand any further, just because 32 is such a nice, that's a nice number to keep at least to keep a league. I think all 4 leagues should be at 32 teams. Once you get beyond that, it's like 30, 32. I don't know. It's a crisp number to deal with. It breaks down to 16, then 8, then 4, then 2, then 1. You start going to 34, and then it breaks down to 17. It's like, that's a prime number. I can't do nothing.
Yeah. Cricket and Atlantic League baseball.
We just talked Atlantic League baseball.
We mentioned Trevor Bauer. Yeah, so we did.
Which it's funny because I'm glad you had mentioned that before the show because I saw there was like a clip of him basically saying, I'm back or whatever. And I didn't watch it because he's done that a couple times where it was basically just him. I mean, you know how people are. They do this for, for like teasers for like.
It's content. It's content.
Yeah. But so I didn't think he was actually be talking about going back to actually playing semi-pro baseball. And then I found out from y'all that he was with the Long Island Ducks. And now I have this may be how I get to Long Island for my first time.
Nikki's saying I can argue against. I don't think they needed 2 expansion teams. I don't know what it was like in the NHL. I can't comment on, but the NBA needs it badly. They need it badly. Oh, did you tell me this before that he was in the expansion draft? Or not the expansion. I was thinking about the other Atlantic League. There we go. When I think of Revolution, I think of New England Revolution.
Yeah, so do I.
A bit of NHL, yeah. NHL, I can't comment on, Nikki. So I trust you there. That's kind of sick though. That's awesome, Ken.
That's awesome.
But the NBA needs it though. I don't know about the NHL. The NBA needs it. We need Seattle and Vegas for sure.
Yeah.
Not even a question. All right, boys. Well, I think that's all we got.
All right.
So conclude, Scoop.
We will miss you next week. Hopefully, we'll get on for something earlier in the week. But also, obviously, as we mentioned in the beginning, we'll do. Did we finalize FAH for Saturday?
It's sometime in like the 3 or 4 hours before the first Final Four game on Saturday. It's before the game.
All right,
I don't know when yet, but yeah.
All right, so be on the lookout for a finalization of when we'll be live that day on Saturday. And then, as we mentioned, also keep following our social media. We've got some really exciting stuff coming out over the next day or two with regard to the future of this show. And I can't thank y'all enough for being a part of it.
By the way, and K&K as a whole. I talked to Kenny, and I'm going to be working on that too next week. So
amazing. Okay, so
there's the amount of files I've had to extract on my computer. My computer is just what's the scoop? The computer right now. I have so many of your shows, and I'm like, I have a terabyte. A majority of the terabyte is just your shows right now, and it's just like literally a 3-hour show of this is like 6 gigs.
I have a like a 1 terabyte. I almost said expansion drive. It's not expansion drive. What do they call it? Removable drive, whatever the hell they're called.
It's an expansion drive. That's what it's called.
It is an expansion drive. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's 1 terabyte as well. And that's what I usually will. I haven't done it yet, but that's usually what I'll put like the main programs for like OOTP or Madden if I have it on PC or whatever, because it runs faster.
Madden on PC is awful, by the way.
I liked it a lot the last couple of years. It's just now that I have a PS5, I'll just play it on there. Which another thing I did today. This you'll think this is sick, Robert. Like sick in like a concern.
Did you win your game?
Okay, not that. No,
I don't know if anyone's played their games yet. I need to play my game.
I haven't.
Shane played this week, I think.
I put every song from both the show soundtrack this year and the Madden soundtrack this year into my Spotify.
That's actually, I think that's kind of awesome. You know me, I like video game soundtracks. I don't have the show this year. I will buy it.
I don't typically like them, but I like the Madden one and the show one this year slapped.
I thought the show one last year was really good. I thought 25 had a good. The
show
mix.
Typically is pretty good. My favorite soundtrack by far of any video game was CFB.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Shane played his game. You played your game, Brandon. I remember that. So Shane. So it's just Scoop against the Lions, and then me against the Texans that has to get done. So we need Scoop. Let's get that done today, my friend, because I'm gonna play my game too.
Yeah. All right. I'll do it as soon as I go get something to eat. I'll go.
Yeah.
Or make
by the way, we're in week 15. We're speeding, boys. I love it. Let's go. Yeah. Let's do season 2, baby. Let's speed through. I love it.
I cannot wait for free agency and the draft this offseason.
Oh, in our league? Yeah. By the way, does anybody have draft picks?
I'm pretty sure I don't, but I'm going to find a way to get some.
Can I you know what? I didn't tell Scoop. I'm going to tell Scoop right now before we go. I'm thinking about making a really bizarre decision.
Oh God.
In our Madden league.
If it's firing me, it's understandable.
No. No, you're improving. I'm not. No. I'm debating trading Jonathan Taylor for the number 1 overall pick and getting Jeremiah Love. Just so I can get younger and get a boatload of draft picks.
You said trading Jonathan Taylor?
Trading Jonathan Taylor for whatever team has the number 1 overall pick.
I'm for it. I don't care what Jeremiah Love can do. He's not going to kill me the way Jonathan Taylor does.
You don't know how I play with a young rookie. I'm better with younger rookies. I'm better. And that's why I'm debating it. I'm better. If I do it, I'm going to be better. Trust me, I'm going to be better.
All right. So mission is now try and find a way to trade for the number 1 pick and keep him out of your hands. All right.
Yeah, keep him out of my hands.
But can you imagine that? Can you imagine that Jahmyr Gibbs and freaking Jeremiah Love in my backfield?
Oh my God! But you'd be wasting him.
Excuse me?
You'd be wasting him.
Why? Because I suck?
No, because we don't have stamina on, so he'll never reach the field.
What do you mean you don't have stamina on?
We don't have stamina on, so our bench players never come in.
I can personnel change the guy anytime.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
That is one.
I'm debating. I'm debating it just so I can get more picks and make more trades before in free agency. Or like, yeah.
I'll say it again. I'm looking forward to the draft. I'm looking forward to free agency. But I have to go through and see everything because, as we know, my infamous faux pas from earlier this year, not realizing that we were doing it for multiple seasons. So I made a trade that apparently completely screwed me in cap. So we'll see what happened there.
I mean, it screws you in cap in like 2028 or 2029. It doesn't.
Okay, I don't give a rat's tail about that. I want to win now. I do not care about it. I'm a freaking Eagles fan, and I credit the Rams. I don't give a damn about 3 years from now.
Literally, my entire team is to win in year 3. I don't care. I want to win in year 3, not year 1. I'm trying to win in year 1, but my team is built for year 3. That's how I built my roster.
I don't understand, but
that's why all my guys are 23, 24 years old. I don't have to. I don't have to move anybody for the next 3 years.
Yeah,
exactly. But you guys want to just for a sidebar? Do you guys want to know what all your cap hits are?
Oh my God, Kenny said you should air live Madden games. Oh my God, that would be fun as hell.
Well,
we could, but we all suck.
Well, wait, back it up. I don't think didn't you guys try that once and it said it in it and it didn't let you because it doesn't let you air two people's different
we can't do Discord, but like Scoop, what you can do on our FAH Twitch page is just stream our games with your commentary. You can just do that.
I stream on our Twitch, but I stream single player. I've never streamed against somebody.
Yeah, we never promote that. But yeah, we have a Football After Hours Twitch page.
Well, it's also I've mostly just been like kind of testing random things. Like I've never I haven't actually committed to I'm gonna do this series for people to watch.
Okay, here's the cap hits. I'm at 2.75 million. Brandon's at 14.85.
Yeah.
Scoop is at 17.7.
Okay.
And Shane's at 1.05.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really not that bad.
No, I mean the way you guys made it sound when I made that trade, you made it sound like I was freaking like Tua Tagovailoaing myself.
Well, you are in 2028, not now.
Yeah.
You're fine now, but I'm saying when we get to like 2028, 2029. Because I want to go 4 seasons. I want to go 4 seasons, and then we're gonna do NFC. We're gonna go 4 seasons, and then we're gonna do a Legends draft, where you get to draft like John Elway and.
What's a Legends draft? I've never done that before.
Yeah, so I've never done it either. So it's like you get John Elway, Peyton Manning, Brian Urlacher, those guys.
If I go 1-16 with a Legends team, I should never be allowed to play Madden again.
So we're gonna go 4 seasons, and then we're gonna redo it with a Legends roster, which is gonna be awesome. Nice. And then we're also gonna do NFC East. So one of you is gonna take the Eagles, and then we're gonna do NFC East Legends draft. So yeah, that's coming up.
I'll say this: if I don't get the Eagles, I'm gonna be the Commanders because I'm not taking no Giants. I'm not taking no Cowboys.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I want the Cowboys. I always want the Cowboys, but I think Shane took the Cowboys last time we did it. So I love the Cowboys because I run the Cowboys defense, so it makes sense for me to be the Cowboys.
I mean, anybody can do a better job running the Cowboys defense than they did last year.
Also
it's funny, their defense is really easy. I don't know how they struggle. Their defense is not hard.
Maybe because they're not using a controller for it. But
all right, well, that again, always it's kind of fun to talk about our Madden League on a public forum because it's a fun league. We're having a good time. We're having a good time with it. It's a great time. All right, peace out, everybody.
You guys next week
on Saturday. The Statomatic thing. Kenny was asking about the Statomatic thing. Yes, I do know about this.
Oh, you know what, Kenny? You actually brought that up to me about playing it about a year or two ago, and it kind of just became a one-off conversation. We never followed up on it, but. I'm very intrigued by that game.
I thought there was like a Statomatic like program or something.
I do think they made a computer version of Statomatic now, but no, it's a baseball board game. I think it's the one where you roll the dice.
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Okay, that is what I'm thinking about. Okay. All right. Peace out, everybody.
You guys next week, same Scoop Time, same Scoop channel. Scoop, Rob, Brandon,